So I decided to get stronger. I just decided, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm tired of being this skinny fat fuck. I'm tired of being rejected by all these girls. I'm tired of being a fucking chump. And so I said, you know what? Let's fucking do it. And through thousands of workouts, through fucking thousands of repetitions, thousands of fucking hours spent in the gym, sweating, grunting, being in fucking pain, I knew the moment I stepped into the gym, I was meant to be there. And it's the first time in my life where I felt truly at home. I felt like nobody fucking mattered there. And so I was like, hey, I should be here. Doing the gym sort of stays in the gym. That's something I really enjoyed. I think the body is an important part of being a man. Even though I'm still very young, I don't really want to call myself a man. I think it's one of the best things you can focus on as a young guy, your body, because it forces you to not only deal with the physical but also with the mental, and you can develop everything at once, so why not do it? When these pictures and these videos were taken, now I'm weighing in at around 74 kilos.
Right, but yesterday I ate sushi, so it doesn't fucking count.
I've been working out for about a year and 10 months, but I rounded it off to 2 years because it's easier to say. I've made thousands of mistakes, and I'll be telling you all about them in another video, where I'll be detailing everything you need to know in order to avoid everything I did, how to do everything right, and how to get to where I'm at faster and with better results. Bigger arms, better six-pack, bigger everything essentially, except the cock. That's something I can't help you with. So, without further ado, let's celebrate my little anniversary of 2 years of working out. And I wish, my brother, that you can say something similar in the next year or 2 years. I'll be waiting for a video of you 2 years in the future where you'll be happy to say, I've been working out for 2 years and I look better than you, man. And I'll be fucking there in the comments saying, good fucking job. I hope I see you there. And so now, let's just go through a bit of my history. That whole little emotional conundrum thing I was talking about. In 2019, in 2021, I graduated from high school. I was part of the class of sports and science, which allowed me to essentially do sports for 5 hours. Sports. Superman. We just ran around and played some fucking shitty football, shitty basketball. we never had enough people to play with. We were only 6 in our year, so we had to play with the younger guys. So that was funny. But either way, I was part of that class because I didn't want to be part of the 8 hours of math class, and I also got to hang out with my friends a lot more. So that was fun. But that kind of introduced me. Those 3 years of sports and science introduced me to a lot of the ideology of trying to be healthier. Just trying to be. Not the ideology, it's really something that you should know and you should just do, just be healthier. But, you know, I sort of fell in love with working out because I associated it with being with friends and having a fun time. So now I sort of, every time I work out, I'm just having fun because it was always fun to do. And it's always just nice to do. But yeah, at the end of 2021, I decided to gift myself the gym you see right before your eyes. This whole thing costed me about 500 euros. If you add other stuff like the squat belt, you know, that little shitty belt that I barely use because it doesn't fucking work properly. If you add the clips, if you add the weight belt that you use for pull-ups, if you add the grips, the little grippers for like your hands and your feet, and everything that I use, you know, stuff like the pussy pad for my parents. It costed about 600 euros total, but I think it's a worthy investment because I got thousands of workouts because of this gym. This is where I started, and yeah, my friends and I call it the scuffed gym, but although scuffed it may be, it does its fucking job, and it does it very fucking well. I'm proud to say that I never got those fucking bars where you have to twist that fucking, those clips for the fucking weight to stay in place. I never had to do that. Mine just sort of slides, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I got this gym right after I graduated. Some of my friends came over and we started working out together. That's why we called it that. But we never really worked out like heavy. We could barely bench 40 kilos. So yeah, it was mainly just sort of getting, for me, I always sort of saw it as nailing the technique down. I never tried to go heavy. I just sort of did what felt like the right amount of weight for the time I was lifting. So if I was lifting 70 kilos on the deadlift, like 3 months right into working out, it's not because I was trying to ego lift. It's because it felt like the right amount of weight to use at the time to nail down the technique. You might consider that time spent working out. I consider it time spent just figuring out stuff because I never used a lot of weight. But yeah, it doesn't matter because right after I graduated and went to university, the gym I was going to for the first month or two was fine. Like I could go there, and then all of a sudden, COVID stuff shit happened, and you couldn't go now. So for like 4 months, I had to go to the park and just do some pull-ups and do some push-ups, and that's it. So even though I did start earlier in the summer, I couldn't go in the winter because of COVID restrictions. So yeah, that's bullshit, but whatever. But yeah, once I was able to go back again, I was stupid enough to do powerlifting programs or work out with a powerlifting mentality in head, where it's just, hey, 3 reps of bench press, let's fucking do that. You want a big chest? Let's do that. So yeah, I ended up developing more of a spider physique than anything for the first year I was training, which was a mistake. But I'll talk about those in the next video, which you'll be able to see like a week from now. Yeah, I just sort of went first with like a powerlifting mentality instead of a bodybuilding mentality, even though I was like, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. I want to look good. But I was like, I want to lift heavy. And so talking about heavy numbers, the heaviest I ever benched was 85 kilos for 3 reps. I haven't tried to go heavier. I think I can go heavier than that now, but I don't try. I'm just doing Larson press now for reps, which now I'm doing 70 kilos for 8 reps. Controlled reps, nothing, where I'm bouncing. The reps I'm doing now I think are much higher quality, which is the reason why my chest is a little bigger than back then, but it's my weak point right now. But I've been working out my shoulders, which was something I was very much lacking back then. But yeah, before I didn't do OHP that much. With dumbbells, I was doing with 20 kilos, which is respectable, but I think I can go heavier now, although I don't try because my fucking bench doesn't work like that. But with the barbell I was doing, like a couple months ago, I was doing like 50 kilos for, I don't know, 6 reps? I'm not sure, I don't remember, but now I sort of do with less weight because I'm weaker, because of something I'll talk about later. But yeah, my heaviest squat was 90 kilos for 2 reps, but then I got injured. So I stopped. I got weaker off of that. But in the hack squat, I was able to do like 100 and something, 110. But I think my technique in the squat is just shit. So that's why I'm doing a bunch of front squats just to keep my weight in the front. So right now I'm doing like 80 kilos for 3 reps, which is not, it's like, oh, that's very much powerlifting training. And I agree, but that was like a 1-day type of thing. That was the heaviest that I did, which is a shame. Like my squat is not that heavy. It's something I definitely need to improve. My heaviest deadlift was 150 for 1 rep. That's it. I couldn't do more. I was twerking, like those guys that are just go like that. I was repping 140 for 6 reps at one point. And since I don't have enough weight here, I don't have the ability to go to 140. The max I can go to here is 130. But that's fine. I'm just doing sumo now to strengthen my hamstrings and my glutes, since they were very lacking at one point. So I just decided to bring them up. My conventional is more back dominant and spinal erector dominant-ish than it is legs. So Sumo is kind of fun to do. Not gonna lie, it does hurt a lot on your shins, but apart from that, it's pretty good. Those are like the big lifts everyone talks about. Pull-ups, I can do pretty cool pull-ups now, but I can't do muscle-ups, which sucks. But now regarding performance, you might be saying like, dude, why the fuck aren't you able to do more squats? I think it's merely because of it's kind of related to the fact that I can't recover properly because I can't sleep, which is why the title of the video is called Before Surgery, because this is essentially a sort of milestone that I'm putting out there into the internet as like a sort of reminder, like, hey, look, this is what you look like 2 years after working out when you had shitty conditions. What were those shitty conditions? Well, my nose. My nose is fucked. I have a problem where there's like little tornado things inside of your nose that are, for me, too big. They're not the right size, so they don't allow me to breathe properly. So most of the day I'm breathing okay. I'm sort of sometimes I'm gasping for air. Like if you would imagine a fat guy running around and like stopping to breathe for air and going like just that's something I have to do sometimes, not all the time, but quite regularly. So I cut it out most of the times from the video because it's not something you want to hear, but it happens like a couple times throughout recording of this video. But yeah, the doctor's gonna make those things smaller, which is gonna allow me to breathe. And the thing that it affects the most is my sleep. I can't sleep right. Most of the times I can either fall asleep, or when I do fall asleep, I'm sort of in a state of vividness, or I'm not fully asleep but not fully awake. I'm in sort of limbo where the dreams are cool, but then all of a sudden I wake up and I see my room. It's dark. And the best way I can sort of describe it to you is, let's say you just left school, right? You're on holiday, you had a break, and you fucking fell asleep at like 1 a.m., right? And you wake up at 9 a.m. Your parents woke you up, and then they realized, you don't have school or anything, so you fell back asleep. But they somehow keep making noise in the house every like 30 minutes or 10 minutes. That wakes you up constantly, but you're too tired, so you just keep going to sleep. So you're always sort of awake but asleep, and waking and sleeping. And when you do finally want to wake up, you're just too tired, and you don't fully rest properly. You don't recover properly. So that's something I've been struggling with for like 2 years now. It started kind of when I was 18, like at the beginning of 2022. Not really, like in March of 2022. That's when I first noticed it, really. I went to Spain, and I fell asleep in an Airbnb that I was staying in, and I woke up with a bloody nose, and I was just sort of gasping for air, and I realized that like my nose is really fucking dry. And I thought it was going to go away after I left Spain and I came back to Belgium, because Belgium is much more humid. It rains a lot here. So I was like, it's going to go away here. It didn't fucking go away. So I had to keep buying these fucking sprays that I'll post a picture, but I had to keep spraying these fucking things on my nose every like 8 hours. Like I had to exactly know, like it was about 6 to 8 hours that I had to spray them, because right after that time limit, my nose would just immediately, like in the matter of 30 seconds, it would just go from like fine to completely fucking dry, and you couldn't breathe. It happened a lot then when I was in university, that you'd be in the class, I'd be in like lecture, and I'd be listening, and all of a sudden my nose dries up, and there's like an hour left, and I forgot my spray at home. I'm like, fuck. And I have to sit there for an hour breathing through my fucking mouth, trying to not be loud, because when you try to breathe through your mouth, it's actually pretty fucking loud. You have to go. You see that thing? That's because I don't have. That's because I don't have enough air. But yeah, I had to deal with that for a long time, and but yeah, essentially I had to get rid of those sprays, not because I was getting addicted, but because a doctor just recommended a better one, and I sprayed it once, and I didn't have to use it again for an entire week. I could sleep fine, and it was honestly a fucking blessing. But like, unfortunately, you do sort of get accustomed to it a bit, and your nose keeps, like, you just keep fucking waking up when you fall asleep, which is the worst part. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the doctor. He's gonna do surgery on my nose. He's gonna knock me the fuck out. And I kind of mistimed my mini cut because at one point I was 80 kilos and I cut down to 76 just naturally. I didn't do anything. And then I was like, oh, I have to do a mini cut because I'm carrying too much fat, and it would be useful to cut a little bit so I can bulk easier. It's easier to bulk and gain muscle. And then I mistimed it and I was like, I have surgery. I could have just done the cut as I did my surgery, because when you have surgery, you can't work out. So I won't be working out for like minimum 3 weeks, but after that, I'll be working out very fucking lightly, like just bicep curls, like very light. With baby weight, no compound movements essentially, because I don't want to blow up a vein. I don't know how it works. I'm just trying to recover properly. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm more excited than I am nervous, because realizing how much I was able to accomplish, I essentially went from being 60 kilos to being 80 kilos in the span of almost 2 years. And all of that while not being able to sleep properly. I think not being able to recover that well, it's like, I'm not saying I did something really amazing. I don't think it's that amazing. It's just fucking, I'm being held back, right? So thinking like in terms of like, dude, the surgery can actually just allow me to achieve my full potential in terms of energy, in terms of recovery for the gym, in terms of just anything really. It's like you're able to do a lot more. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. My future goals is to, right now I'm just going to record another video, which you'll be able to see in like a week, where I'll be telling you everything about my my transformation, like behind the scenes type of stuff, where I'll tell you like everything to avoid, like how to deal with injuries, how to deal with certain stuff, how to actually focus properly on the things you want to improve on, how not to do the mistakes I did, and essentially try to help out a younger version of myself that would have wanted this advice much sooner. If you're 15 and you are going to the gym, congratulations, dude. I think you're doing fucking great, and stay tuned for that video, because maybe you can learn some stuff. It's essentially for beginners, because I still consider myself a beginner, because in terms of like how much time we're going to be working out for, at least for me, I know I'll be working out for the rest of my life. So I have another 80 years of lifting until I die. It's like, I'm a beginner, dude. Like 2 years of lifting is nothing when you compare it to long term. Like my peak would be at like 30, which is like 10 years from now. It's like, fuck. Yeah, no wonder. Like, yeah. But my goal by the start of 2025, I want to be weighing in 90 kilos. And my plan to get to that place is, right after the surgery, I'm going to recover. And then once I'm able to work out again and I'm cleared, I'm going to slowly build up to, I'm essentially just going to be gaining 1 kilo per month. But I think that 90 kilos would be a good place to bulk up to. And it's going to be a very slow bulk. So slow and steady wins the race. So yeah, that's essentially everything I have planned. I just told you exactly how I went from being a fucking lazy guy, well, not really lazy, just being a nobody, to all of a sudden being a nobody, but with muscle, a bit of muscle, which is cool. And you can kind of be the same. You can actually be whoever you are, but with muscle, and that's pretty cool. You actually gain a lot of confidence. I was never really that confident when I was young, and have the muscles made me confident? No. Have they gotten me girls? No. Is it cool to have it? Yes. Is it cool to exert yourself in stuff that you like doing? Yes. Is it cool to push yourself in everything? Yeah. So yeah, go to the gym. It's something you should be doing. And with that, I take my leave. Thanks for watching, and good night.